France's stranglehold on Africa is collapsing with savage brutality. A nation that once yanked the strings as a ruthless puppet master now stares in disbelief as its dominance crumbles like dust through its clenched fingers. Fast forward to 2025, France, a former colonial warlord ruling a massive chunk of Africa, is watching its power evaporate faster than a mirage in the scorching deserts. From the brutal sands of Mali to the resource-rich lands of Chad, the once arrogant French presence is being kicked out. And it's a savage spectacle. To understand this brutal downfall, we must turn back the clock. You see, in the 1960s, France gripped 20 African countries, 20 of them, from Senegal to Madagascar, with an iron fist. But when those countries demanded for independence, France didn't just slink away. No, they forged a sinister scheme called the Franc-Afrique. The Franc-Afrique, a tangled web of financial extortion, military occupation, and corrupt alliances with puppet leaders who obeyed their commands. It was a vicious power grab that kept France in control, like a tyrant pulling the levers behind a curtain. This is just the English version of the Commonwealth of Nations. But what happens when the tyranny falters? Enter Mali, where a rage boiled over. In 2022, after France's bloated military fiasco, Operation Barkhane crashed and burned against relentless rebels. Mali's leaders roared, "Enough," and expelled French forces. The people erupted in triumph, jeering as French convoys fled in disgrace. And who seized the void? Russian mercenaries, a ruthless twist no one saw coming. Now, the interesting thing was, Mali wasn't an isolated revolt. Burkina Faso and Niger followed in 2023, hurling French soldiers out with contempt. Then in April 2025, Chad, France's last desperate ally in the Sahel, slammed the door shut with finality. Imagine Paris officials sweating in panic. President Macron stammering at press conferences, labeling it a new strategy. Pure delusional. It's a humiliating rout, I know. Why this carnage? Africans are sick of France acting like a colonial overlord. Young voices are screaming against Franc-Afrique, exposing the 1960s deals that let France plunder resources and manipulate money through the CFA franc. Leaders like Mali's Assimi Goïta are tearing up those shackles, and the masses are cheering the destruction. Now the tables turn with vicious irony. As France is voted out, Russia and China march in with superior offers and zero condensation. In Madagascar, France clings to tiny islands with valuable ocean rights, defying Madagascar's demand like a stubborn child hoarding stolen toys. The tension is explosive. Final blow, France preaches about moving on from its colonial sins, like returning looted arts to Benin Republic, yet when Madagascar demands its island, France spits in their face with a cold no. Isn't that hypocritical? This decline began years ago and now it's a crushing collapse. Now you may ask, what's France's fate? They once strutted as the dominant force, but their former colonies now align with new powers. French news spins lies to soften the blow, but the sting is undeniable. Their cultural language, that smug French arrogance, it's bleeding out in Africa. And for a nation obsessed with its glory, the fall is unbearable. What's next? Will France cling to its fading empire or accept defeat? One truth stands. Africa is forging its own brutal path, and France is no longer the master. Neither is Britain. That's it for today in Chronicles on Power. If this truth resonates, spread it and tell me your verdict. Until I come your way again, stay informed. DJ No.